I seem to be really bad at meeting the goals that I set myself every year and then accomplishing a bunch of stuff that I didn't plan to do. So rather than doing it that way where I'm dictating to you what we're going to do, I'd rather hear what you guys want to see so that we can try to prioritize some of that stuff coming up in the new year. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the Laser Source Podcast, the #1 podcast. If you like shaving on the shore, I have a question for you about that, but we'll come back to it. First of all, Rhiannon's here.
Hi.
And second of all, Kyle's here.
Hey.
And third of all, this podcast is brought to you by Johnson Plastics Plus, the #1 place online to go buy a bunch of stuff. I think they probably are doing some kind of post-Christmas sale to like liquidate inventory or something. But even if they're not, you can save 15% on just about anything in their inventory any time of year using the code YLR-CDF. If that changes, we'll have a new code down in the description for you, as well as an affiliate link, which helps support the channel. So make sure you go check them out. They've been so helpful this year while we've been recovering from a bunch of big projects and different new experimental things that we've been trying to do. And having them be there alongside the LMA as a consistent source of income for the channel has been really, really helpful. And I'm very appreciative and grateful for it. So if you haven't been over there, make sure you check out those links down in the description and show them some love. We've been using them forever. And I'm really looking forward to doing another year with them. That said, Miranda's messaging me things that I need to fix. Can you check the sponsor box, Kyle?
I will, yeah.
So I don't have to pull it up. Okay, thank you. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, shave on the shore. Guys, okay, so it's not a Boy Scout thing. I was a Boy Scout. Kyle was a Boy Scout. And I can't imagine this was sanctioned by the Boy Scouts because it's a drinking game. But there's a game where you sing a song and you pass cups around. And every time you pass the cup, you grab it upside down and you flip it over like this. And you sing, shave on the shore and the washy toshy tosh. Do you guys know what that game is? Shave on the shore and the washy toshy tosh. Shishka, Hoya,
I've only learned it from Alex and Chris.
Anyway, I have no idea where this came from. I'd love more information on it. So if you know the origins of that song, what it's called, what the game is, because the only reason I know about it is because I had really bad kids in my Boy Scout troop when I was growing up, and they did bad things like teach the little kids drinking games. So we were talking about that before the show, and I want some answers about it. But that aside, there's Kyle. What's up, beautiful?
Hey, buddy.
Did you have a nice birthday, man?
I'm a year older.
Yeah, me too. Kyle's birthday was on Christmas, if you didn't know. So everybody slapped Kyle with a happy birthday. And yeah, I don't know. That's it. Yeah. 2025.
Woo.
Dun, dun. It's the year of getting stuff done. Thanks to Rhiannon, who's been doing all of the bitch work. Appreciate it. Dude, literally, like every time I assign her a task, I'm just like, I don't want to do this. So now it's your problem. Congratulations.
Although I kind of like rope you into it. I'm like, Alex, you have to.
If I have to be involved, yeah. If I absolutely have to be involved.
But then it makes him do it. So
it's true. Getting some happy birthdays in chat there, Kyle.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, Miranda says Christmas is the least common birthday in the year. It's interesting. Makes sense. I mean, I don't know if it makes sense, but wouldn't the odds of it being on Christmas be like about what it would be on any other
day,
at least in the winter? Like, I know it kind of changes seasonally. People like to get freaky and like, what is it, the winter, and then they have like spring babies because you're all cold. Yeah, I think that's the theory, is like in winter you're cold, so you like cuddle closer.
I think that means you would have fall babies.
Fall baby, that's what I meant. Yeah. Fall babies, because
September's
the most popular birth month, I think, by far.
I don't know.
Which is 9 months from December, January. So
Miranda said something about it.
Oh, Miranda says no because no one schedules inductions or C-sections on Christmas.
That's fair.
True. That's pretty funny.
That's good.
All right. Anyway, guys, it's 2025, and I left today's stream super open-ended. I didn't really give any details about what we were talking about because I want it to be kind of your episode to chat about what we want to do over the next 12 months. Usually we do like a big long year in review, and I make slides with everything that we should have done and everything we didn't do and everything we want to do. And I just published a video, so I've been doing that instead of, prepping for this. So I would rather it be a little more open-ended. We rarely stick to our goals, and we accomplish a lot, I think, every year. We get a lot done. We have tons of content on the channel that wasn't here a year ago, but it's almost 0% of what we planned. If you look back at what we thought we were going to do at the beginning of 2024, I'd say what happened over those 12 months is very different than what ended up happening. I mean, Rhiannon's just been editing some older podcasts from like almost a year ago.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. I mean,
we were like, Chris is going to work here
something.
full time. Chris is moving out from California and he's going to be at Laser Everything. And now Rhiannon's sitting next to me. So,
the person.
But
the shop's open, so you did that.
The shop is open. We did open the shop.
Took a little longer than you.
It took a little longer.
Podcast,
took a lot more money and time than I think either of us expected, but it looks great. It looks really, really good. If I wasn't so worried about like messing up the stream, I'd take you guys on a quick tour. Though, if you've been watching any of the recent videos, we like to close out the recent episodes. We've been closing out with like final product shots kind of set back there, so you can see a little bit of it back there.
Pictures or something, but
I haven't taken any, but you've been taking pictures? Go take some pictures and send them to me on Discord.
The Google stuff. The business listing or whatever.
Oh yeah, I guess we did take some for the Google My Business listing. We also got a couple reviews, which was kind of nice. We got our first handful of 5-star reviews. People are walking in. I'm like, hey, so we've had multiple people be like, can we tip you? Yeah. And I'm like, I've got something even better than a tip that you can do for me.
Here's a tip.
Yeah, leave me a 5-star review. So, and a handful of people have done it, which has been nice. And I basically just explain, I'm like, we just reopened after being closed for a couple of years. When I went to reactivate the listing, Google took away all my reviews. Essentially, we had like hundreds of 5-star reviews. So if you could help us rebuild that, that would be awesome. So that's kind of what I've been saying. But yeah,
I got an idea for a project for you.
Okay.
Set up a QR code for a sign that brings them to your Google listing.
That's smart.
Yeah, that would have been helpful because he was
he was like,
do I just go to Google? The one guy was like trying to do it like in the shop from behind the counter. Super easy.
A lot of free QR code.
Solid project for the new year right there.
Yeah.
And an easy
Good goal. There we go.
Christina says, I think that was the theme for 2024 overall. Just like doing things you didn't think you'd be doing or things turning out differently than you expected.
Fair.
That's usually what happens when you have an end goal is you run into side quests to get to that end goal.
Man's best laid plans are often laid to waste. Book?
You just told me this.
What book? Come on, we just talked about it. What book is that from?
I don't know.
It's of Mice and Men.
Oh yeah.
We watched the whole clip of Lenny and George.
I've even read
Looney
that
Tunes.
book. It's just been a long time.
Tisk. I didn't expect you to know it from the book, but I did expect you to know it from 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know you did. I just forgot.
Jeff says that's my biggest thing is I make a custom item and then forget to take a pic of it, dude, all the time. Especially we've been getting like a ton of jobs.
Take one picture of creepy thing.
Which creepy thing?
This like deer skull thing. I'm a vegetarian, so it might not be that creepy.
That was not as great. It was kind of gross.
It was the little head piece in between.
It was like the
deer's
forehead and antlers, but not like the entire head.
Yeah, it was just like this
just
tiny
rack,
little
but
pellet
like and
on
then
the
like
top
a piece of its
something.
head.
It didn't even look like the same piece, but
no, it didn't. But we did get a picture of that. But a lot of the stuff that's been coming in has been like same day.
Yeah.
So
we gotten a couple
literally they're just like sitting in the waiting room, and it's like, when am I gonna take nice pictures of this? So we've lost a few of them just due to time constraints.
take some from the videos that we've like done them when we were doing live.
That's the nice benefit we have is we can always do a grab if we get like a nice shot of it.
Yeah.
We should hang out more. So sorry, I'm new here. If you reviewed CO2 galvos before, I don't think we have a specific CO2 galvo review video, but there's a really good episode that Matt just uploaded to the channel all about CO2 galvos and what to look for, what you want, what you don't want, what they're good at, what they're not good at. I think it was called like the best laser for tumblers in 2024, maybe. It's like something like that. It might just be, we might have axed the year. It might have just been like the best laser for tumblers. So look that up and go watch that one. You don't even have to look it up. It's probably still on like the channel homepage because I feel like that would be really helpful for you.
We also did, we've done a couple of live streams that involved CO2 galvos, which, spoiler alert, Alex has a 30 watt Mactron CO2 galvo with it's a slightly different configuration than mine and Matt's. Mine and Matt's are identical. They're basically twins, and they're 60 watt Davi tubes from Haoshin. With 8x expanders and 20 millimeter heads. Alex's is 20 millimeter head 6x expander, which is why you'll see some differences on like lens arrangement and how we approach projects.
I really want to get an 8x in there to see what those compound lenses can do.
I'm curious to proper see the difference in dot size.
I'm sure there will be. I'm positive there will be a difference in spot size.
Yeah,
that's a 25% increase in
magnification.
Like magnification, yeah. So that's a massive difference. But on top of that, I want to see what happens when we use a compound lens, not just to make up for the inappropriate beam expander, because I have an inappropriate expander. That my laser came with a 10 millimeter head on it, not a 20. And
what was the original expander you had on that? Was that a 2x or a 3x?
It was a 3x, which still was too small. So, but when I upgraded the head, which I did a video on a very long time ago at this point, I did not upgrade the expander, which I should have, or maybe I did. I guess I upgraded it from like a 3 to like a 6 or whatever. But I need a bigger one. 6. Yeah, I need a bigger one because I'm not using all of that available real estate on the mirrors. This podcast isn't about this, so I don't want to go off on like a crazy tangent about it, but it's definitely something that I want to do in the next year. That'd be fun. We need to build that test bench.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. I still look at that 30 watt Mactron machine is still in like 8 pieces, and we've just kind of shoved it under one of the tables. And it really deserves to be kind of like torn apart, exploded, if you will, and kind of rebuilt out in the open. I think that was one of the best ideas we ever had, and I still haven't done it.
Goal for 2025.
Super resource
exploded view usage.
That was a goal. I announced that project idea on our 2024 year in review.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this will be a great 2024 project. A whole year has gone by and we haven't done it.
Just move it on to the next year. It's fine.
Yeah. Chris Lazicki says, hell yeah, I had no idea I'd be the happy owner of a 100 watt, 52 inch CO2 Gantry. It's been a wild year. That is a big boy.
That's a chungus.
Yeah, that is a chungus. That's like bigger than the Blue Poo, right?
By far. Yeah. Mine's 24 by 40.
By 40. Yeah.
So if you have a 12,
it's a foot on top of that. That's nuts.
Yeah, you can more than do sheet goods in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty sheet goods are typically 48 wide.
428 Ghost says, I want to transition my small rural engraving shop from solely custom work to building my own retail line. What do you recommend for retail in 2025? So there's 2 things I would recommend to you. One, don't give up your small rural engraving customers for the online retail. They need to happen together because your local base, and I say this a lot on the podcast if you're a longtime listener, I firmly believe that your local base funds your online expansion. In order to succeed online, you have to spend money, and that money has to come from somewhere. So unless your pockets are pre-lined, which I doubt because that's not the case for most of us, you have to have revenue coming in so that you can do things like buy ads, right? And get traffic and get your product out there in front of people. And the most success, and I'm not the cover story on this at all, I'm far from the most successful person that does online retail with lasers, very far from it. But in my experience, the most success I had was when I was directly diverting the profits from the local customers into the online expansion, and it paid itself, and we were reinvesting that way. And had I stuck with it instead of branching off into YouTube, I think that success would have continued. But I've spent so much time on YouTube over the years that, inevitably the shop closed, as you guys know, just for time reasons. So that would be my suggestion. As far as like an item, if you're looking for like what product to sell online, obviously do something that isn't already being done in mass. If you can come up with a creative product like that. And then my second thing would be, don't overdo things. Don't do 50 million things. Do a couple things that you can do better than anybody else, which is another thing that we say pretty regularly. Do you have input on that, Kyle?
Yeah. So if you have a dedicated like retail space for your business, kind of like Alex does, another good thing to kind of push flow to increase both sides of the business is doing local pickup instead of delivery. So instead of shipping stuff to your customers, which obviously should be offered, but for people who are local and can stop by the shop to get something faster, because they're going to see that as a benefit to you, them being able to get into your shop and see stuff that you have on display and see the capabilities you have can really only help you, right?
Yeah.
If they can see that you can do whatever thing that they didn't imagine in their brain, that just increases your viability to them as a place to get gifts, a place to get stuff done. And it's going to kind of burn an image in the back of their head of what you can do. What up, Chris?
Oh, there he goes. Chris Throughout is back this morning.
Yeah.
Him too?
Yeah, he's hobbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really smart too, dude.
Yeah. So that's something I had a discussion with on somebody recently, is they were looking for ways to expand, and that's like advertising both directions, because now you have local customers helping your online business potentially, and online customers helping your local business and helping each other out, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we saw on the website that we just sold was that the antler guy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We didn't engrave anything he brought in. He just needed a plate, which we had because we have all those custom engraving plates.com plates laying around. And what I could have said when he came, which I didn't say to him, is like, if you need another one of these, you can just order it online.
Right.
Because he could have. That was easily a thing that we have up. It's in stock, and he could have just like ordered on the website.
Right.
But I think a lot of people too that come in for the first time look around the space up there, or even if you don't have a dedicated retail space. I mean, when we were in the garage at my mom's house, people walked into the garage and we had like steel garage shelves that just had like junk on them that I had marked in the past. And they're like, oh my God, you can do this. And
yeah.
We've
had all those same day people when they're like hanging out in the shop. They're just like, oh, wow, you can do this. Like we sold a capo, I think 2 capos, right?
Dude, they upsell themselves. Yeah. That was the crazy. It's like
we haven't even talked to them about the other things in the shop. They're just like, oh, look at this.
Having the slat wall.
Yeah.
With just like blanks on it has been really good, because people are just upselling themselves while they're standing in the store, like waiting for their projects to be done.
And worst case, then they get their one thing that they wanted engraved in the first place.
Yeah. Half the battle. So a lot of the time people find you at a necessity, but when they can see what you can do, when you have a wall of stuff for them to see, or a binder that functions as your resume to them, right? Of photos, or a TV with photos of work that you've done. That's all advertising for you, but it's basically show and tell to the customer. It helps you sell stuff to them because it shows them what you can do. And a lot of the stuff that you can do, the customer can't even envision, right?
Yeah.
So huge.
Yeah. I was just
go
going to
ahead.
say, I feel like a lot of the people that have come in like don't even really know what laser engraving is. And then they see like a couple of the examples and they're like, wow, you can do this
Dude.
and that. And just the creativity
That's
like blows.
been a crazy thing to me
Yeah.
that I don't feel like I noticed before you started
Mhm.
working here. But a lot of people we've been talking to lately have just had no idea what laser engraving is.
Yeah.
A lookbook. Yeah, High
Lookbook.
Tech Gearworks says, yeah, a lookbook. You totally need a lookbook. We don't even have, I mean, for all of the success that our display area has brought us so far, we don't even have any, I don't think there is a single engraved item out there. Except for the channel.
It's your channel
It's
stuff.
the channel
yeah.
shelf. I have one tiny
That's
little
true.
shelf with projects
think
that
there's,
we've
like,
done in videos.
Maybe
You have the
one
TV out there
tumbler.
though, right?
The TV's
Yeah,
out there, but
it
it's
doesn't have
been
anything on it.
largely off.
Yeah.
So we need to get more shelves up.
Yeah.
We need to get engraved stuff out there because that's only going to help. It's not going to hurt
Right.
anything.
You have options though too. So because you have the TV that's sitting there, you could throw the channel up.
Yep.
Totally.
Which by the way, if you guys want, you could always just put some of our videos on loop in your shop too.
True.
So you throw the channel up. You could do throw photos on a USB and slap that bastard in the TV. You got
Ooh.
looping photos there, or you could make a hodgepodge video in like Windows Movie Maker or something. And there you go. You got options.
We've had to do a lot of educating about what laser engraving even is to bring back that too, because it's like a lot of people think we're printing or screening stuff, or they think we're doing some kind of like
color,
like pressure embossing process. One guy thought that we did inlays. So it can be really confusing, I think, if you don't have a background in it. And that's knowledge that we just kind of take for granted. But, you know, having just superfluous examples of laser engraving, I think, is something that we need to do for the shop for sure, and something you guys should be doing too. And I hope you're taking videos, and I hope you're taking pictures. Remember, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, which you could absolutely, and I'm just breaking off into 50 different paths here. You could absolutely, first of all, have a YouTube channel that isn't designed to be popular on YouTube, but is just there for customers. So you can say, here's my work. Here are some jobs that I've done. You can go look at it. Two, that's how the channel got started, by the way. It was Monroe Laser Engraving originally, not Laser Everything. And I was only uploading videos of me doing projects with no talking or anything on that. And you can't find those on YouTube anymore because they're all taken down. But it was just projects, just mid engraving. And I just dumped videos to that. So absolutely do that. And even if you don't do that, you should be taking videos of all your projects, because part of being a business owner in 2025 is being a content creator. You have to do that. Even if content creation is not going to be your main revenue stream, you have to create content for your regular customers to get to know you as a business. That's how we communicate with our customers in the modern age. So that's all stuff that you guys should be doing. Kyle kind of gave a few different examples of how you can present that stuff, but you can't present it if you're not doing it. So always try to be thinking like a content creator and doing that kind of stuff as often as you can. Look, it's Matt. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It's like seeing a ghost.
What up, big boy?
Look, the whole crew.
Oh my God. Working. Like all the time. How you guys doing?
Good.
Another year, as Kyle said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like all the kids are sick and we have a sinus infection, or I have a sinus infection. They've all got snot.
If you weren't all sick, would it really be the Bodiford household?
Nope.
Nope.
It'd be a house that burned down.
It'd be some other house. Yeah. You get the guys with just the flamethrowers and the hazmat suits.
Pretty much, man.
Yeah. Cool.
So what am I missing?
I was lecturing people about how they have to make content. Yeah. For some unknown reason. I don't even remember the question anymore.
I'm gonna turn my light on real quick.
I was reading comments too while doing all of that. Jeff says, that's another thing for me. I know I can do things and I've done things, but I fail to let others know what I can do, so they don't know. Guess I need to study marketing ideas. Yeah, man, it doesn't need to be fancy, dude. We talk about it a lot. I don't have a lot of visual aids for this, but I have some, and we've looked at them in past episodes. I won't waste a bunch of time today pulling it up to show you again. But if you are familiar with my garage shop, before we had any kind of professional space, we did a lot with very, very little in a very ugly, dirty space. And it works. I don't think people are judging the quality of what you're presenting as much as they are judging the lack of things being presented if they were to walk into an empty space. So that's definitely super important.
Yeah, and the nice thing too is like even in your garage, like when people come, I mean, I'm just in my garage, like this is a attached 20 by 20, and I just have stuff on display. Like I made my own little display case that I made out of some wood, cut and made it, and then it's got like some stuff that basically I've got some things stacked away. Like so, if it's like glass trophies, I'm not leaving those out because if they fall or one of my kids touches them or whatever, but those are where I can like quickly grab them real quick. I've got plaques, cups, knives, coins, I mean, just that kind of stuff. And they're not even really on display. They're just where I can quickly get them and have people look at them. Like, I think I was watching when I was trying to log in, I was hearing you guys talk about how you got the wall going and people are like upselling themselves. And that's literally what happened with me. I had like a $700 sale not too long ago where someone would just walk around and like, oh, could you do like coins out of this? And I was like, yeah, like you can make that into a coin. And they were just like, I want 18 of them. Boop,
yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and you're very much too, like, you've put a lot of work into your garage. I'm not trying to say that you haven't at all, but you are very much a man running a business out of a garage. Yeah. And you don't have any problem with that. That's not an excuse to not conduct yourself like a professional.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I will say too, like get insurance, make sure you have everything above board. Because if your house burns down, your business isn't safe. If your business burns your house down, that's a whole like it's a whole thing. Go talk to those people. And then the other thing too is like just have things ready. Like that's why I've got this thing behind me right here, like where people are like, hey, do you make name tags? And I just have them all in a row. Like the top row is the different kind of name tags you can make, the magnets, all that stuff. And it's just where you can quickly get to them and or just to take pictures of stuff, right? Like every time we have the show, I'm always like, oh yeah, I have this, and they're just grabbable. Yeah. So just that's pretty much it. Because like you said, most people are visual people.
Yeah,
definitely. Kyle Bronson wants to know LETV.
It'll be back.
Marks? Yeah. They didn't like catch fire, right?
No.
Okay.
It went down one day and haven't had the time dedicated.
Go back up. We'll probably have to interface on that when we're ready to turn it back on. It's sitting there. It just needs to be turned back on. It's not the most popular thing in the world, so it hasn't been the highest priority. I really like it, but liking it doesn't necessarily mean that it deserves resources, which is a hard lesson Laser Everything has learned in 2024. So we will look at that because I would like to turn it back on. It doesn't cost us anything to run. It just takes like maintenance time, and that can be annoying when we're trying to do other things that seem substantially more productive. You think that's fair, Kyle?
Yeah.
Brick Church Design says, I used a couple of those picture frames that take SD cards with project pics on loop. Who did you just got one of those for somebody, didn't you?
Oh, I got like the one that you have for your mom that you send pictures over a code for my parents for Christmas.
Nice. But Amazon buy?
I don't think the particular brand was on Amazon, but there were options, I think, on Amazon.
How much did it cost?
Something similar. I don't know, like $60 to $90.
$60 to $90. Oh my god! Better be OLED. $60 to $90.
I mean,
rich blood over here. I'm getting hot.
I mean, you got it for your mom.
Not that one, and Chris bought that.
I bought the same one.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's via a code, and you send pictures online to your parents.
That works.
Yeah. I don't know. They've been liking it, so it was worth it.
What's up, Matt? You look fidgety.
No, you're good. I was just saying, Handle It Corral was saying that zoning, it says we can manufacture but not have a shop at our house. That's definitely something to consider. I'm in a really strict HOA, and I had to put an air conditioning in here so I could work. That's where this conduit right there. Like I literally ran it across, did everything up to snuff, and then had like an HVAC and an electrician come out to do the final bit and save myself as much money as I can. But yeah, everything has to be on board. And then doing that lets me work in the rain, the heat, because Florida, dude, like you leave the shop door open and it's like alligators crawling in. So, like I'm not even being funny. Like there's some down the road. Rabbit came into my shop one time, geckos. I was like, yeah, okay, we're done.
I had to deal with the town too when we were in the garage. I had to go to the like courthouse and like beg the city council to let me do it. Like they were asking me all kinds of questions. They're like, how many people are going to visit every day? Are you going to make a bunch of traffic? Are you going to block all the roads? You know, and I had to like answer all their questions. So it's definitely something you have to do. It wasn't something where like I tried to be sneaky about it, like running a business out of my house.
Come and get you, dude. And then they'll shut you down, and then you spend all this money modifying and doing, and then you're kind of effed.
Yeah, and they're not going to approve it after that, you know. So like it's best to just kind of go into it the right way for sure. It sucked, it was uncomfortable, and it took longer than I wanted to do. But when it was done, and I knew I had the town's blessing, and that made doing the work that I needed to do a lot easier.
And the other thing too is when your neighbors come to say something, make sure it's up to code, like he was saying. Because like for me, the only thing my one neighbor has ever said, they're like the sweetest older couple. They just came over and they're like, hey, we don't mind any noise because we're kind of deaf, but like the smell, like I was doing cups at like 1 a.m. and it was like blasting into their bedroom at like 20 feet away. And they were like, hey, is there any way you can get the smoke out the front? And I was like, I can do that. And that's when I put in the exhaust through the wall out front through a vent, you know, like just a what do you call it, vent? Dryer vent.
Yep.
Easy peasy. I mean, it took like $200 and 2 hours, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh, Laura's here.
What up, Laura?
She said, well.
And I do want to remind you guys, one of the reasons I planned this for today is because I knew we would have some availability. I knew we'd have some extra time, and I'd be at the office, and Rhiannon would be here to write things down. So if you have anything that you want to see us do in 2025, now's your chance to let us know. I mean, you can always let us know, but we're actively listening right now instead of passively listening. So I would definitely voice things that you have on like your Laser Everything wish list. Of course, and I've mentioned this at the beginning of the show, I have my list of plans. I'm not going to go crazy sharing them all because I seem to be really bad at meeting the goals that I set myself every year and then accomplishing a bunch of stuff that I didn't plan to do. So rather than doing it that way where I'm dictating to you what we're going to do, I'd rather hear what you guys want to see so that we can try to prioritize some of that stuff coming up in the new year. We've had a lot of kind of eras to Laser Everything, a lot of phases where the content has kind of shifted radically. You know, in the very beginning, it was trying to understand EasyCAD. And then after that, we shifted to like the mechanical operation to calibrating lasers. We did a whole year where we were just talking about photos and like red dot alignment and timing and delay. I mean, those videos took almost a year to make in that little kind of micro series, and they're still used to this day. And then the year after that, we really focused on Lightburn, right? We did the Lightburn for Galvo and Lightburn for Gantry crash courses, and we got those up. And it's always kind of evolving and changing. It's never like Laser Everything is just one thing. You know, we're trying to do the stuff that we see is in demand and the things that people are asking specifically for help for. And so that, you know, year over year, if I was to try to identify any pattern, and I think the guys would agree with me, I think it's just that like every year we kind of settle into a new almost like playlist of content based on whatever the needs we saw from like the previous year, previous 6 months, and really try to expand on that. And of course, we've done a bunch of things on the side, you know, We had the marketplace we were trying to do. We tried to do courses and trainings and things, and trying to incorporate new features, and a lot of that stuff developed really well. We have the online parameter libraries, the community parameter libraries. The new buying guide is so good, guys. If you haven't gone and looked at that, make sure you go look at the new buying guide. All sorts of, thanks to Vinny, shout out to Vinny, all sorts of new calculators and tools and converters and things on the website. All of the databases. We've collected so much information about the equipment that we use, and it's so easy to look up now. So a lot of those kind of side quests have done really well too. But each year is kind of like, I think really marked by the core theme of the content for the year. And that was unintentional. I never meant for the channel to kind of end up that way, but that's the way that it's gone. And I'm really happy with it looking back and seeing that each year, we've had like a new big challenge, a new big mystery to unravel for people. And so I want to know, like, what is it that you guys, if you could pick that core theme, what would you want to see in 2025 to kind of spark the creativity there? Because I'm really interested in your feedback on that. Do you guys have anything to add to that? I know it was a lot. It just kind of spewed, and if you don't, that's okay.
I think you covered it. A lot of what we cover is based off of demand and ideas and requests and the order in which they're received throughout the year a lot of the time, and that kind of envelopes the trends that we cover in a way. So
yeah.
I think Laura was saying over here in the chat that she liked seeing live laser work happening during the lives, or live laser work. I'm tired. Yeah. But basically like the lasers going. And that's the thing I always like, because usually that's when I do my work, is like after work, I finally just told people no. This week, I was just like, nope, I'm taking this week off from extra stuff. So I've got like 2 or 3 people who are waiting on things, but that's one of those things where it could be cool if we're doing like, especially like daytime stuff. I think you guys have been like showing off some of the neat things, like doing the how to do the lenses and all that kind of stuff. So that's been cool to see it during the daytime and see that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah, we went hard for like 2 weeks there on lives just because it seemed relevant, and we were stuck in one spot, like already doing all of those calibrations and corrections. So it was like, why don't we just point a camera at where we're physically stuck doing this and like go live? So in that instance, it was very easy, but it's definitely something that Rhiannon and I have been thinking about how to better integrate over the course of the day without interfering with like a regular shooting schedule for normal content too. But that's totally on my mind, Laura. I get that. I totally see why so many people think that's a high value thing. And it's definitely something we're going to be doing over the next 12 months without question.
Mike had a good thing. That might be something cool to do. It says, I'd like to see more on dialing in parameters. Like that's actually like, so if you guys don't know what he's talking about, that's when you are sitting there and you get a piece of leatherette or like
something new,
big chunk of aluminum that you're working on, and you're trying to get colors and stuff. Like how do you, or even like the same material but a different color? Because honestly, with the fiber, that's gonna matter. So how do you shift it with the frequency? How does speed really change what's going on? If it's one direction or two, bidirectional, like all that kind of stuff matters. And then like in our Facebook group in the past week, I've seen like 2 or 3 people talking about like flood fill. Like they don't understand, why do I have these lines in my engraving all over the place randomly? And that's flood fill. And so that's the kind of stuff for sure that would be easy to do and helpful.
Yeah, definitely. I see Mike was asking, anything you want to learn more about yourself? What's on the like top of the list of things you want to do? And this kind of ties into what you were saying in your question that you read, Matt. Kyle and I, a long time ago, when we shot Lasered, if you haven't watched Lasered, LSRD, it's really good. Go watch it. We explode a bunch of electronics for science. It's very fun. But it didn't do very well. And we were talking about what we would change in a season 2, if we were to like do Lasered again. And I think we came up with this idea. It was like Lasered Labs. And each episode, we'd just focus on a new raw material, like a new substrate. and we'd start without any idea of what we want our settings to be or what we're even going after, and slowly dial in settings for that material. And each episode would just focus on one new, distinct, discrete material. And I think something like that in 2025 could be a lot of fun. Kind of working through the process in its entirety rather than just being like, here it is, it's done, this is what it looks like, so I think kind of the more lab and scientific process might be a fun series to do. If you guys like that idea, you can let me
Anthony calls the nerdy, sweaty, technical stuff.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, and then up there above to Jeff Benedict said, I've watched Shell's channel a few times, but it all seemed to be CO2 related. So I guess like when they talk like maybe Kyle's gantry.
I think Jeff is just like the galvos in general, like the higher end, because he goes on to bring up
the diodes,
yeah. Which I would love to do more diode content. I just feel like I don't have the time, because all of the work that I generally do for our shop and for our channel is galvo related, and a lot of people that come to Laser Everything are looking for galvo resources because there aren't a lot of other places to get them.
See, I was thinking that's where Rhiannon could be like the expert, because she and Chris both have done like some really cool shit with the diode they had.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
If you guys haven't seen Rhiannon's projects, the lanterns are dope.
Yeah.
And so they're really cool. Like what kind of diode were you using?
It was the Atezer, bro.
Oh yeah. So that's the kind of stuff like that. That's a learning tool, man.
Now I'm using the CO2 gantry.
That's a very nice way to say that, Matt.
It's a good learning tool. I mean, it is like I literally just had two people who are local to me. They were like, "Hey, I've seen you on Laser Everything. I didn't know you're from my town." And I'm like, "What's up?" Because like they just hit my personal Facebook. And so then they were asking, like, they're like, is this a good laser? And it was straight up two people buying diode lasers. And I was like, yeah, that's a good one. Good luck. Because I literally told them, like, I don't know G code. I sent them Kyle's link to I sent them to our buying guide, because like there's some really good ones that have review videos you can look at. And then I sent them Kyle's gantry diode review, basically like overview. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. Like, I mean, I think that'd be neat. Like you said, you don't have time, but Rhiannon, man, she's like the pro back there.
Yeah.
Like she'll be like, back up, Alex, I got this.
It's not like we don't have diodes. We have, we definitely have diodes.
We have a wall of diodes now.
We do have a wall.
We put them on.
We couldn't find anywhere to like put them all. So I put a bunch of nails in the wall and we like hung them on the wall. So now they're kind of like lining the top of the shop wall out there. Yeah,
diodes themselves take a long time to do projects. Like with the lanterns, it took me like 2.5 hours to cut them out, and now I'm on the Mira 9 that Alex has, and it's like 10 minutes, and I'm like, thank God.
Well, that's another problem too, is production time with diodes is ludicrously more painful.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you're doing with the diode laser, it eats a camera for however long those jobs run. And of course, they don't run right the first time, or you have problems. So the 2-hour runtime is only 2 hours when you actually successfully get it recorded. And all of the other times that you run the 2-hour runtime where the job messes up, the laser messes up, the camera messes up, or whatever.
Something's not level, whatever.
All of that time compounds, where you're just trying to get like the one good shot, or you end up with 30 hours of footage trying to run a 2-hour job and showing, because we are pretty transparent on Laser Everything when things don't go right, showing all those mess ups. And instead of the mess up happening in 3 seconds, it happens over the course of 180 minutes, and so that can be a big problem with creating diode content that's similar in spirit to the Galvo content that we make now too. I'm not saying we won't do it. I'm just illustrating some of the difficulties that come along with it.
That's what people need to know, because like that's the other thing too, is like production, like you said, like it's a lot. And then the other thing too is you shouldn't really walk away from any lasers, but especially not diodes, because like stuff catches on fire in an open air, and it's like, but the cool thing is there are some neat diodes too that we've looked at. Like this year you looked at like the one that like lifts up.
The We Create.
Yeah, that was so pretty dope, dude.
Yeah, so fun. We actually, so one of the things that Rhiannon and I did when we were like renoing the shop side of things, was we created like a corner, which I haven't really showed on camera at all yet. But it's called the small laser corner is kind of what we're calling it now. So anything that you can pick up, anything that you can lift, even if it's a heavy lift, is in one corner of the shop now. So there's like the little portable lasers, the handheld lasers, the diodes.
Fiber,
yeah, the little EM Smart is over there. The bi laser, that little like comm marker style bi laser is over there. Yeah. It's a pretty cool little corner, and I'd like to spend some time on it. I don't really know what to do in it, but it's fun to stand in. So there's something there, but I'm not sure. It hasn't hit me yet. But I'd like to spend a lot more time on that kind of stuff.
You should wire them all together so that when you hit enter, they all start up.
I'd like them to all shoot into one focusing mirror.
400 watt laser.
Yeah, exactly. Multi-wavelength.
It's like
from editing podcasts, you always talk about bamboo on diodes, so maybe we can do some bamboo projects.
Yeah, we could do some bamboo. Diode is the best laser for bamboo.
They literally were that's exactly what the person who messaged me, they're like, do you have a place to buy stuff? And I was just like, look, our buying guide has like everything for like from metals to wood to like just buy stuff. And I told them burn to learn, like, go, you should expect to spend money to learn how to do this. Because they were like, they sent me 2 pictures and they're like, I don't know what went wrong. And I'm like, I don't either. Like, you got to play with it. Because
Rhiannon and I have been playing Sons of the Forest. You know that game, Matt.
Oh, it's so creepy.
And in order to identify whether a plant will heal you or poison you in the game, you have to eat it once. You have to.
Otherwise, it's just like a question.
Otherwise, it's just a question mark. And if you eat it and it's poison, then they all show up as poison across the map every time that you play. But you
still have to be poisoned.
Laser engraving's kind of like that. Hopefully with less poisoning, but you have to biff it to understand it. You have to burn to learn. That's the only way to do it in the end. I can talk to you guys until I'm blue in the face, but until you put your substrate under your laser and try it, you're not going to know. So that's really the only answer.
Yep. That's it.
Christina Mazdezer, you guys say it. Mazdezer. Christina M.
Yep.
Says there is some really great diode content from some other folks who work almost specifically on diodes. I watch them for diode knowledge, but Ellie has been great for learning what's beyond that. That's totally true, guys. We are not the only laser channel in the world. There's so many great resources out there. So many much more intelligent people than us doing much more intelligent content with much simpler devices. So always, explore YouTube, man. It's the greatest social network on the planet. It's the greatest place to be. You find the most intelligent people here working on the most incredible things. And there's a lot of resources out there now, especially for consumer aimed diodes. There's just mountains of content.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Jim says, can you recommend a backup laser for the P2? My P2 is currently needing repair.
That we create is pretty cool. I know it's not a CO2, but
the we create is, but it's a 40 watt. I mean, it's not bad if you're on a budget.
40 watt diode, yeah.
I mean, for a backup, because he's asking for a backup. So my thought is, if you want your fancy P2, we create's a good way to go.
How much was the P2? It was like in the 4 to 6 range, right?
Yeah. So what do they got? Like the
so you could get polar. Like a. I wouldn't do the polar, but they have because the you don't get much with the screen, so you just get a push button.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you get I think it's the Polar Pro.
Is that not the same on the P2?
I don't know.
I don't believe the P2.
But you can get like a 12 by 24, 16 or 12 by 20 or 16 by 24 Ohmtech for like 2,200 or something.
Yeah, true. You
could get half the price of the P2, and it'd be a solid machine. That
if you wanted to spend the same amount, yeah, you could probably get like the 80 watt 20 by 28s are like 4Gs, I think.
Make the P2 your backup.
Yeah, make the P2 the backup. That's right.
Yeah, like invest up.
Speaking of learning machines, that's a learning machine. Solid learning machine. I'll do the trick.
Let's see.
Yeah, we did. There was actually some holiday deals for Black Friday and some of the other sales Amazon did. If you go back to the live streams where we covered deals on those, so what was it, like November and early December, and then early October, I think. There's a couple of spreadsheets with links to a couple of the machines that we covered. Some of them come with chillers. Some of them come with an extra copy of Lightburn, because with those you want to use Lightburn. With the P2, you have your option of XCS or Lightburn or whatever, but with a Ruida controller, you really want Lightburn, because RD Works is kind of a step backwards.
Yeah.
I didn't want to miss Gal's question. If I would like to engrave on material in jet black, I'm not sure whether it's aluminum or stainless steel, and I only have one shot to get it right. Should I spray brilliance on it just in case? I really think you need to commit to deciding which one you think it is, because the settings to get a black mark on steel are very different from the settings you're going to use to get the brilliance to activate on the steel or aluminum. And those settings are very different from one another too. So it's not like a situation where you can just kind of, what's up, Anthony? It's not a situation where you can just kind of like blast it, and if it's not steel, the brilliance will just work. They both take very specific settings and very specific circumstances in order to yield that mark. So if I was in your position and I can't find out what it is, let's say the customer doesn't know or whatever, and you only have one shot to get it right, I think it's time to make a phone call and just be like, hey, this is not gonna be black. You know, I mean, that sucks. It's a shitty conversation to have, but it's slightly less shitty than saying, hey, I know I told you I was gonna do this thing and now it's fucked up. So
the other thing too is that should really be, if you are taking someone's product and they can't tell you what it is, that's one of those things where that's where I'm gonna send a piece of paper, like Alex, on the links. You've got one of the things at the bottom where it says, like, here's our disclosure that says we are not at fault for trying these things. You are allowing us to, and the cost is on you, not us. Because like that's actually a great point, because I had someone went to like Sam's Club and they bought like 100 cups because they said, hey, there's cups at Sam's Club. And I said, yeah, they might be stainless steel and whatever, but are they the printed ones or are they the, powder coated? And they sent me the picture after they had already bought 100, and it was like, I couldn't do it. So I was like, yeah, no, this is just going to be a melty mess and it's not going to look good. So they ended up just getting vinyl. They had someone who could do a vinyl cutting. And I said, yeah, that's like your next best thing, or unless you have somebody who has UV printing. And that's okay. Just say, like, that was a definite no for me.
Yeah.
Because that would have sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing with getting a
retro page. Sorry.
I was just going to say, the other thing with getting a like super, super black mark on aluminum, it has to be anodized. It's basically impossible to get a pure black mark on non-anodized.
It's usually a very, very dark gray at best, and that's with a lot of heat. So
you're basically, it's like color marking, like MOPA marking on the surface coating of the aluminum.
Yeah. Laura, just keeping us moving along because we're running out of time. Laura says, question for you. What am I using the Peng Sheng for that I received my F1, also known as Shengus for your Pengus? That, my friend, is lube, and it's not good lube. Take it and throw it in the trash.
What's your favorite kind of lube?
Throw it in the trash where it belongs, and grab some white lithium grease from the hardware store. It is extremely inexpensive. It will lube everything in your shop and then some. There it is. The Lucas brand is my preferred. That is the exact bottle that I use. Indeed, it is on the buying guide if you want to support the channel. Yeah, don't open the Shengus Pengus. You don't want that. That's yikes. Go ahead, Anthony.
I learned that the hard way. It turned into like rubber cement on my
Weird
CO2 gantry rail. So I had to like scrape that stuff off as gently as I could so I'm not messing up my rail. But
it like solidifies like wax at room temperature. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's for your Pengus, not for your laser. Okay, so just ditch it.
What you end up having to do too is like clean that off, and then you have to reapply it, like, because if you didn't know any better, you're gonna reapply it, and it just keeps. It actually takes away from your movement a little bit later on because it just builds up sometimes if you don't take care of it.
Your Pengus movement.
Yeah, your Pengus can Changus.
Yeah, so just no good.
Vicious growth. That sounds accurate.
Accurate, yeah, exactly. But this is not a podcast episode about men's health. This is a podcast episode about lasers. So we're going to continue on that road. Thank you, Laura. Grab some white lithium grease. What does it say?
White
Not for your Pengus.
Differentiates. So you want to make sure you get
that. Apply directly to the Pengus.
This is white creamy appearance.
Mike C says if it isn't magnetic, weigh it, which I would normally agree with, but I'm assuming they're in a situation where they can't weigh it. Typically, I've run into it where I've seen like a brushed material, and I really am not sure like what kind of metal or alloy or cheap junk they've like slapped onto a thing, but it's too late. It's on the thing. There are definitely situations where you don't have an option. And in that case, I'm definitely like, I don't know what this is. You're paying me to take the risk. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't pan out, I'm not the one that's putting the item up for, destruction. That's you. You have to have a really clear conversation about that, preferably in writing if you don't have a release ready for your shop.
The other thing too is like, oh my God, dog shop. The other thing too is like the coatings on it can be dangerous if they don't know what it is. Like I had somebody who brought me, I think we've talked about like bricks that people bring in and how some of them are literally like 70% asbestos or something like that. So if you're blasting that in your shop, and then there's a lot of people who don't believe in eye protection, they're like, I could breathe this shit in. It doesn't hurt anybody.
You can smell the asbestos in these bricks. Yeah.
How's that taste?
I mean, dude, some of the code, like even just on tumblers, like a lot of people buy stainless tumblers that are like plastic dipped in like transparent bullshit. And you're like, I'm going to Z-mark all these tumblers. And they're like, no, you're not.
The first one, it like curls on the edges around.
Yeah, dude, you don't take on any of that risk. That's not your job. Your job is to mark stuff. And if people bring you bullshit that doesn't mark or melts or catches on fire or explodes or whatever, that's their fault, not yours. And you warned them about it ahead of time. And if you didn't, you're not doing your due diligence. So make sure you stay on top of that. There's the Peng Sheng.
I like this one real quick. This was a Jeremy Jordan Double J Patriotic Design. That's a lot of letters. But Double J Patriotic Design said, Lucas in a grease gun with the needle. The needle is a really good point. Some of your gantry machines will actually have places that you can actually put a grease gun, and you can just like the little mini grease gun that literally just, you squeeze it a couple times and you see it come out where it's supposed to come out, and then you're done. Run it across the rail a couple times and you're golden.
What is it? Just like a baby caulk gun?
So what he's talking about, that's literally like
it's like the injection basters you can get.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
It's like the little things of like thermal paste.
Yeah, but with a needle tip.
And then the other thing is, I know like on the Boss laser I've got, it's actually got a nipple that you can put it on, and it will go through there's about 6 slots where it will actually come up, and you just run it. So as soon as you see the tiniest piece of grease, you know that you've made it through, and slide across, done.
Yep.
Can you milk
it? If it's a Pengus.
You usually can milk things that have nipples, Greg.
Real Rogue, 2 comments. One, they recommend 3 and Uno lithium grease. So that might be another one to check out. And also, Real Rogue says, good night. Going to take advantage of chat today and just ask if there is ever going to be a UV Galvo library similar to the fiber CO2 gantry. That might be a good 2025 project. I think that me, Matt, and Kyle, and Anthony even, I'm sure, would be happy to contribute, are probably all fairly comfortable with our UV lasers now, and I think we have some discernible differences between them, but I think we're really starting to get them kind of nailed down. there will have to be separate libraries based on your source. So instead of the fiber laser libraries where it's all wattages, and then inside each wattage folder is all lenses, this is going to have to be each of those sets inside of another 2 set field for your source. If they're all one library, they might be 2 separate libraries. There's also, and we have had this for a while, I wish more of you guys would contribute to it, because this would be so powerful for those of you that are looking for help with your UV settings. You guys have the capability to help each other on this. We have the community UV library online that anyone can submit settings to with just a little bit of information about their ultraviolet laser. You can contribute to that and try to add to those libraries as you start to figure things out. And that is the most valuable thing, because there are so many different configurations, and the differences are so or can feel so staggering at times, that knowing that someone else out there has the same exact setup as you, and they have had success with a certain setting or a certain technique, that library is designed to be there to share those experiences in a way where it makes it really easy to find other people with your exact machine, so that you can, or something close, if you look for it that way. You can use the library that way if you want to experiment. That resource is there. So I really highly urge you guys to take advantage of that if you can. But that said, I know there's just an absolute massive demand for a UV library. It would take a brutal amount of work to set up and get going. It would be almost impossible to convert, and that still somehow doesn't mean that I'm against doing it. But it maybe it'll be an LMA thing. Maybe it won't happen at all. Maybe we will put time into it. Maybe it'll be free. I don't know. I can't commit to anything on it right now, but it doesn't sit well with me that we haven't done it yet. I'd certainly like to.
I was going to just show people that real quick, because this person's name, who's in Cyrillic, I can't say it, sorry, said, greetings from Serbia. I've got the Max Photonic 20-watt Chinese laser. Not sure what that one is, but
it's just a 20-watt max source in a generic.
Okay, there you go. Said, do you know any page or YouTube channel where I can find out more about this laser? And then they basically said, I keep burning and not learning. I still don't have standard values. And so that's where, just in case you don't know what Alex is talking about, because you haven't been there yet, this is lasereverything.net. It's the website for everything that you can have access to. And so what he was just talking about was the free starter settings pack.
This is all free. Everything we're looking at right now is free.
And so that's where you can come here and grab the fiber files, and you saw it download up there. And when you open it, it's going to be separated by the different sources, by power and then by source.
Lens.
Yeah, lens and source. Yeah, I'm tired.
That was fine-tuned with a 30-watt JPT source with a 110 lens as a starting point, and we've converted it from there. So that's going to give you a starting point. It may not be perfect, but it'll get you within the ballpark, so you can make little changes to fine-tune it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the other thing that Alex was talking about was, if you guys have settings that you want to contribute, we've got fiber laser settings, CO2 galvo, CO2 gantry, and UV galvo settings, where you can click in here. You can view the settings. You can submit settings. When you click it, it literally opens up like a cool form where you can come in here and put everything to be helpful, even like a picture at the end. And we've gone back through. You could totally, there's some strawberry things I was working on. We've got the Strawberry Festival coming up, but those are all the things that you can work on by going to the for free, by the way, going to lasereverything.net.
Yeah, we'll go to lasereverything.net. And also for you specifically, if you're just totally lost on your 20-watt laser, every single thing we cover in almost every EasyCAD video and almost every Lightburn for Galvo crash course video in both of those playlists on the channel homepage is relevant to you. Even if you don't have the same wattage laser, there's so many steps that you can take, like Rhiannon and I have been doing in the live streams lately, that you can do to dial in your laser and make it more predictable, more reliable, and more efficient and just better in almost virtually every single way. So make sure that you watch those tutorials, even things you find boring, even things you don't already know. Just go through the steps, go through the videos in order, and make sure that your machine is configured correctly and set up for success. It's so much easier when you take the time to set your machine up right and understand the way it works. And we really do a solid job in those courses that are still very relevant. Yes, Lightburn's gotten some updates. Some buttons are in slightly different spots or have slightly different names as they've adjusted and tweaked things. But the vast majority of it is still perfectly accurate and very, very helpful. So I really recommend spending time on that as well.
Two things real quick. And this is, I know business, people always have questions about business. And the cool thing is now that you guys have the shop open, I think it'd be great to, Alex has had a business the longest. Anthony, I mean, you've got like an actual physical shop. You've got Rhiannon, who's working in the shop now, and she's having to talk to people and take orders and do things. And then Kyle and I have like out of our, like we've got job shops basically, you know, out of our homes. But you still come across stuff like what Belinda said. I'm getting good at saying no. That's a real skill to learn. To people who bring me random items that are one-offs and not replaceable because it's not worth the risk. And then also dealing with the feedback that you get. Like Jeff said, I had someone get mad at me once because I wouldn't laser engrave welcome on some pressure treated fence boards due to the chemicals in the treating, which is very real. Like that could, I mean, in a small shop or something where you haven't set up the ventilation right, like that's a
middle island
real danger. So that's one of those things, you know, like maybe like how to talk to customers, how to like, or like even like the process of like from when they come in, like getting them set up to like processing a customer from start to finish. Like maybe that's a cool video, or that, you know, that process.
We do some role playing.
No thanks. Not again.
Hello, sir. I would like to buy your assless chaps. Can I get them engraved?
No,
welcome to the store.
Not veg tan.
Have you tried Lucas's lithium grease?
For your Peng Sheng?
Yeah. Oh God. Anyways.
Did you see my comments on the lens video? You're asking for suggestions.
You said that it wants to be you want it to be remade. Oh, my old one where I'm talking about OPEX and shit, and I'm totally making shit up.
I think we need to revisit the lens subject.
I think we do as well. Yeah.
And I volunteered to do it if you want it done.
You are welcome to. I can't pay you for it, but I'll certainly host your content on the channel for free. This is to answer Michael Amato's question. Hey guys, question from Massachusetts. We have 3 CO2 lasers, fiber, and a UV printer. Question about masking. Do you guys prefer using a paper mask or blue plastic or other masking? Paper has been my fave. This is it right here. If I'm not doing something, this is for sheet material generally. If I'm doing something small enough that I can mask it with Anthony's laser tape, beamituplasertape.com, I will. But when I'm doing big sheets like Romark from Johnson Plastics Plus, our sponsor, this is the stuff I do. I always remove the factory mask as soon as it comes in, and I mask it with this. In fact, one time Michael Mullins and I, we didn't take the Romark mask off, and it sat on the shelf for 2 years. And when we peeled their factory mask up, it peeled up the top layer of the 2-ply with it. And they were like, oh yeah, no, you can't do that. So a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, this is a 48 or 30.
20, that's 24.
24? I don't know. I don't know.
That's 2 feet, buddy.
It is 2 feet. This is a 24-inch roll of just like white masking paper, and it works perfectly, and it comes right off when you're ready to peel it off without damaging the substrate at all. And I use this on everything that, again, I can't fit Anthony's tape on, because you're only doing up to 4-inch rolls right now, right? That's your max?
Yeah.
Make me one of these, buddy. Sell me one of these.
I talked to the distributor about that, and there was some added complications for that size. So we're trying to work it out for the next order.
Cool.
By the way,
I'd settle for a foot.
Okay.
One thing Matt wants to add something, then I'll add something.
I know. Look it up.
So I was trying not to say something about you settling for a foot, but anyways, like this is, if you guys haven't seen the Christmas video where Rhiannon and Alex made a really cool Christmas tree out of like a box that JP Plus sent out.
The tree's dope.
This is why you replace masking and get good tape.
Yeah, you're having a hard time with it too.
Yeah,
I recognized it.
And then like it's so on there, because then when you go to do the project and you cut it, you're going to think, oh, it's an easy peel. Awesome. Nope. And you're going to scrape up a finished product, and it's going to be such a bitch because you just did everything.
Dude.
And
that one was bad.
Begged them in that video. I was like, please rework your formula for the adhesive on this one, guys. Like, this is not it. Really quick, Kyle, before you jump into your thing, was asking where Miranda is, and I just want to point out that Miranda is doing the Lord's work and taking care of my 3 demonic, horrible children, which she excels at. I don't know how she has the patience or energy to do it, and nothing here at Laser Everything would be possible without my wonderful wife at home caring for our family and our house, so that I can sit here and jerk off doing this all day. So shout out to Miranda. Thank you, honey. Love you if you're listening. Go ahead, Kyle.
The other thing I would add to what Michael's question was, if you're using something other than paper masking, make damn sure it's not vinyl.
Yeah. Or just laser safe in general. MSDS, guys, learn how to read one. We should do an episode about how to read a fucking MSDS. God damn. Idea. That would be an easy one.
And the first section to go to for laser engravers, at least, is, when it off gases when it catches fire. It's usually like page 2 or 3.
Which by the way, somebody in chat a couple episodes ago was like, "You're not actually setting it on fire. You're not burning it. It's just being ablated." And I proved that wrong, because ablation temps are way over what most materials that we see on a day-to-day basis require to ignite, and there's definitely burning happening, and you can do research on that and confirm it if you want to. I'm not going to pull the quote back up right now, but we are burning this shit. Okay, it's fucking super dangerous. You need to take care of your body. YOLO. You only get one. You
take care of yourself.
Yo-go
around you.
Yo-go. Yo-go B.
Going back to Michael, because it's a good question. The technique. You did a video, I think, where you showed, I think that was the Christmas video, right? Where you showed the tool, scraping it flat.
Yeah, dude. The funny thing about that is so, like, first of all, Rhiannon and I didn't do it perfect. Second of all, half of the shit that I masked for that video, I did alone, and then half of it I did with Rhiannon. The best advice I can give you is get another person. Get a second person. One holds the tape, one holds the roll, and you stretch and lay down, and then use your squeegee to get it flat. Half of the ones that I did alone were fine because I was cutting. But if I was marking, those all would have been messed up from creases in the tape. It would not have looked good.
Yeah, we were doing
marking.
that pretty quickly too.
We were just kind of slapping it on, because it doesn't make a huge difference when you're doing a cut, right? And everything in that video is being cut out. So you're just cutting through it regardless of whether or not it's creased. But when it's folded over on itself as a crease on the surface, and you're trying to engrave, now the substrate is receiving a different amount of energy in the non-creased areas than it's receiving in the creased areas, which leaves lines in your project. So it is, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, dude, it's really important to get that right, and super flat and super nice. The best advice I can give you, dude, 2 people. You got to get 2 people. If you fuck it up, do it again.
What's really interesting too is I don't use any masking ever, and I just never seem to have problems. And I'm not trying to be like, ooh la la, fancy me. I'm just saying, like, I haven't run into it where it's ever been an issue. So I don't know.
I mask everything all the time, as often as I reasonably feasibly can. I mask it. What about you, Mr. Masking Tape? You got an opinion? You're muted, my friend. No one can hear you.
I mask everything, man. It saves so much post-processing time. Like, I can't even describe like how I did a bunch of ornaments, and the first half I didn't because I was in a rush, and then I was kicking myself in the butt because the cut lines or smoke lines around it. And it was like 3mm plywood because it was just a big job for like real cheap. And I didn't use, anything super fancy, but trying to sand that without getting through the top ply, good luck, man. So you just mask it off. So and it takes 10 seconds to peel it versus, all the sanding and ruining stuff.
I just did about a dozen Christmas ornaments out of plywood, the same thing, like just whatever was laying around. They said, hey, whatever you got in the shop. So I was like, no problem. And that's where I took it, I cut, and then I engraved on the CO2 Galvo. So that way I didn't have any residue, no burn. The other thing is if you've got those tools, because I think he said he has a UV and he has the CO2 gantries. I thought he said he had a Galvo too. But if you've got those, 3 CO2 lasers, a fiber, and a UV printer. That might be something to think about too. Is like a next step would just be to like a CO2 galvo for like quick engraves, because then you can literally, if you're doing mass, I mean, you could, I don't know, like to me, it's worth it. I was doing 22-second engraves, you know, for the dozen of them. So once I just made the jig, I literally cut out a square around the circle of one of my circles that got cut out, put it in there, lined it up on a 90-degree, and then just dropped each one in. I put like a little cutout for my thumb to grab it. That was it. So just one of those things to think about.
We got to wrap it up, guys. Really quick. Rob just chimed in and said he's running. We're running too, but thanks for stopping by, Rob. And
5:30.
Yeah, it's time to go, guys. It's time to bail. We are a fair bit over. It's our first podcast in a while, guys. We've been doing a lot of live streams instead, and those have some really great content in them. If you are looking to learn more about configuring your lasers, Rhiannon and I just did like every lens for like 2 of our machines, and we made Lightburn profiles for all of them. Yes, they're long. Yes, it's kind of a slog, but that's just the way it is. And if you watch them, I think you'll probably enjoy them. So make sure you go check that out. Also, leave a comment after the podcast tonight down in the YouTubes, the area where you type things. That's your part, right? That's your job. And let me know what you think of the new episodes. Do you guys like the quieter episodes where I'm not yapping constantly? I feel like I do that enough on the podcast, and then when I get to actually recording real episodes, I don't want to talk anymore. Like I talk all the time. I talk all the time on streams. Talk all the time on the fucking podcast. I'm so sick of talking. I really like the way that they come out personally, but I don't make the channel for me. I make it for you guys. So let me know what you think of that style of video. Leave it as a comment to help boost engagement. Special thanks to a couple people. End of the year roll call. 1, my wife. Thank you again, honey. I love you so much. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. 2, Rhiannon. Great job first half of the year. Killing it. Super proud of you for learning all this shit really, really quick and dealing with all the shit I don't want to do. Kyle, LMA superstar. What up, dude? If you have gotten help on the LMA in the last 6 months, it's absolutely 100% been Kyle, and we all have him to thank for it. He's the one that's hustling over there, getting it done. Anthony, community man of the year over here, making it happen, not only on the Facebook group, but on the Discord, on the LMA. He's talking to everybody. I've seen multiple messages in chat just tonight of people saying, "Oh, I was talking to Anthony, Ramontez, or whatever the fuck they want to call you." What, depending on the day of the week it is, dude. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for us, man. It's been incredible to watch you work. It's been incredible to watch you set your shop up and be successful. You deserve all of that, dude. And I'm really glad that you're here with us and part of the crew. And Matt, the man who gave us time when he had no time left to give. You gave everything, dude. I miss you, man. It sucks having you back at school. I hope that the next year after you get settled in or something, things kind of loosen up with your free time a little bit, because I feel like you're like you messaged me just the other day and it was like 2 a.m. and I was like, oh my god, I'm awake, and I started like typing back seeing if I would like catch you. But I hope that things are going well with the new job, dude. And I'm glad that you were here today. I was kind of hoping that you would be. It looked like you could go either way on Discord before we started. So I'm glad.
Literally, yeah, it's one of those things. Turn on so if you're someone who hasn't turned on your bell, click the bell. I literally turned mine off a long time ago, because every time we get a comment, like I'd be working on a video or doing something, like, bing, 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 to mess up videos. Yeah. I never turned it back on, and that's where Miranda today was like garbage.
You gotta hit the bell notification, guys. Gotta get notified when we go live. And one last shout out. I really want, so obviously all of our mods, all of the people out there in the community that are helping each other and creating this positive environment that we call the Laser Everything community. Brilliant stuff. As always, you guys are amazing, and you're the reason people want to be here. It's every time we ask people why they signed up for the LMA or the Patreon or whatever, why they're supporting the channel, it's always because of the community, and that's work that you guys are doing. And that means a lot to me. But my final shout out tonight is for Vinny, our webmaster, god of the interwebs. All of the amazing tools, a lot of which we covered tonight, that we have on the website for free for everybody, have been brought to you in some part directly by Vince. So make sure you go check him out. It's No Bucks Boutique And Vinny's on the Discord like all the time. I think he's on vacation, so I hope that dude's all right. I haven't heard from him in like 2 weeks. It's been really
been a
quiet.
little worried myself.
Yeah, dude.
I've DM'd him a couple times and haven't heard back. So I'm hoping
everybody go on
Vinny.
Discord right now, harass the shit out of Vinny until someone gets a response. Let's make sure this dude isn't like fucking, Weekend of Bernie and it, you know what I mean? Like he's just at his desk, like,
yeah. So I want to say thanks to everybody who keeps coming back for the show, because this is highlight. It's one of the highlights of my week. And like Laura, awesome. Me all too. The people, Yuri, you guys know who you are. But then the other thing too is, like you said, all the trusted members. Like literally, that's what the LMA. If Kyle isn't able to get to it, or Rhiannon's not able to get to it fast, or Anthony, it's always you guys who step in and they're like, oh yeah, I learned that already. Boom.
Yeah, I made that mistake. I burned my shop down that way. I
got some homework for you guys.
Oh, homework.
Alex already gave you one thing to comment down below, but since this is the New Year stream, I want you guys to leave something you want to see this coming year down in the comments too.
Please, yeah.
Give us some homework by leaving a comment down below. Hit the refresh button.
Definitely do that. I would really like to see that. You were like the kid at the back of the classroom that's like, didn't you say we were gonna have homework this weekend? And they're like, shut the fuck up.
Wasn't there a test today?
Yeah, wasn't there supposed to be a test today? All right, guys, that's it. I'm letting you go. Thank you so much for being here as always. If you want to support the channel, lasereverything.net/support. If you need help, masters.lasereverything.net. Coaching just reopened, limited quantities. Rhiannon's taking emails about that. So you can email us and figure that out if you want. Check out the coaching page on the website. And I think that's all I've got. Thank you so much for being here. Happy 2025, everybody. I'm looking forward to another year of Laser Everything. Really appreciate each and every one of you. And we will see you in the next one.
Happy pew year.
Pew, 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 pew. That's 5 pews. One for each year after 2020 that we've survived. Be gone, thought.